walked in and the press went crazy. I was leading the polls. And by the way, when I decided that I maybe wouldn't do it, I was also leading the polls. I like leading the polls. But I was at the Washington Correspondents' Dinner, and the press was going wild. Will the president be speaking about you, Mr. Trump? Will he say anything? I said, I have no idea. Probably not, but I have no idea. So I'm with my wife, and what happens is the president starts. And in all fairness, he was very respectful and very nice. And he just kept speaking about Donald Trump. And he kept going about the birth certificate, which, by the way, I got him to show. Nobody else could get him to do it. You know, the Clintons wanted to do it, and they wanted him to show it. And McCain and everybody else wanted him to show it. Right. And Trump got him to show it. Now, I don't know exactly what he showed, but someday somebody's going to figure that one out. It took a long time. So I go in, and he's speaking about Donald Trump for a big majority of the speech. And I'm knocking my wife under the table. I'm saying, honey, can you believe this? The president's talking about me. This is great. What an honor. What a great honor. It's great. I had a good time. And I sat there. I wanted to be a little stone-faced. I'm not going to be laughing and everything. But I was nice. I was cordial. But I'm telling Melania, isn't this great? The next day I wake up and about 90% of the paper said Trump was humiliated. I was so honored. And that's part of the really part of the problem that the Republicans are going to have. Nobody is protected like Barack Hussein Obama. I have never seen press that is so protective of a human being before. And you know, I was thinking, he was over in England, and he made a horrendous toast at a very inappropriate time. And then he signed the ledger, or the registrar, as they would call it, May of 08. So he was off 3 years. And I was saying to myself, I wonder what would have happened if George Bush signed it. I wonder what would have happened if almost anybody was 3 years off. And the next day I watched the news, and they're saying, isn't that cute? Isn't that wonderful? Oh, that was so funny when he signed it. Oh, he's so smart. It was so funny. And this is a problem. We have a man who's being very, very much protected by the press. And it's going to be very difficult. But I'll tell you something about beating President Obama. If you remember, you know, they all talk about he's a great campaigner, he's this. If you remember the end of his campaign during the primaries with Hillary, she was winning every single primary. And he limped over the finish line. Barely. Yes. Barely. And had that been a little bit later, had there been one or two of those early primaries, he would have lost. So, you know, they keep saying, oh, he's a great campaigner. He may be a good campaigner. But, you know, in golf they have an expression. They say, Johnny, he's looking for the clubhouse. He was looking for the clubhouse. And then you had a problem with the economy, and he got in. And the problem that we have now is unbelievable, because the economy has gotten a lot worse. Probably will get a lot worse. The jobs report today, I don't know if you have seen your television sets, but the jobs report today was a total disaster. And it's a problem. It's a real problem. We're up to 9.1%, but it's really not 9.1. It's 19 to 20 to 21%. That's We owe more as a country than $14 trillion. You know, it's funny. 2-3 years ago, you never heard the word trillion. It wasn't a word. Nobody knew what it meant. Today, all you hear is trillion. But we owe more than $14 trillion. And I'll tell you, we need a president And I think one of the reasons that I have done so well and continue to do so well in terms of a popularity is not because of me. It's because of what I say. Because it's basic, it's true, it's common sense, it's business. We need to create a wealthy country again, or we're going down the tubes. I mean, we are on a very slippery slope. And if we don't create wealth in this country soon, it's going to be a very, very long and ugly period of time. Now, if you look at what's going on with OPEC, they are laughing at our leaders. They do think our leaders are stupid. You do know that, right?
Yes.
And you know, the nice part about not being a politician, I can use a word like stupid freely. A politician doesn't want to do that. You look at Anthony Weiner. Was it your picture or not? He gives you about 2.5 paragraphs. Of course it was his picture. Take a look at those skinny legs. You think or not. But this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people that either don't know, they don't have a clue, they don't want to know, or in some cases say whatever they have to say just to get elected. And that's a big problem. Now, OPEC is having a tremendous time at our expense. Think of Libya. Think of what they do. The Arab League. You know what the Arab League is? Saudi Arabia and a couple. And I, by the way, I have many friends in Saudi Arabia. They buy apartments from you all the time. I like them. They're nice people. I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming our very, very inept leadership. So they say, attack Libya. Attack Libya. Oh, okay, we'll attack Libya. So we're spending billions of dollars attacking Libya. Nobody even knows what's happening. Who are they bombing? How many people are they killing? Where are these bombs landing? The only one they haven't gotten is the one they want to get. But why doesn't somebody, as an example, say, okay, we're going to attack them. We want $5 billion. You know what that is to Saudi Arabia? Like nothing. It's nothing. And the other countries in the Arab League. Instead, Obama comes out, he's all thrilled because the Arab League wants us to, we have approval from the Arab League. We have approval. We don't have their money, but we have approval. So when I look at things like that, now, if you remember the last problem we had, oil hit $148 a barrel. Well, oil is going up there again, and now it's at 100, and it's going higher. And Saudi Arabia, by the way, a couple of weeks ago announced that they're going to cut back on oil because they want to get the price higher. I'm actually amazed because they're going to destroy the economies of the world, and ultimately they're going to have their own revolution, and we won't be able to protect them for free anymore. You know, we protect them. We protect South Korea. When you think of what we did. Now, I said something that some people considered, they really considered it to be somewhat controversial. In the old days, we would have wars. To the victor belong the spoils. Now, in the old days, we go to war, and if we win, we have the country. If we lose, we get the hell out, right? So we go into Iraq. We spend about $1.5, think of this, $1 trillion. And by the way, then a certain Republican representative, 2 nights ago, I watched on television, Representative Cantor, who I like, said we don't want to give money to the tornado victims. And yet in Afghanistan we're spending $10 billion a month, but we don't want to help the people that got devastated by tornadoes, wiped out, killed, maimed, injured. We don't have money for them, but we're spending $10 billion a month in Afghanistan. We're spending billions of dollars in Iraq, where they have the second largest oil fields in the world. We're spending billions and billions of dollars, and we can't help people that got flooded with the Mississippi, that got hit horribly by the tornadoes. And then what's going to happen? We're going to leave Iraq, and as sure as you're sitting there, and by the way, this is not 95%, this is a 99%, this is 100%. It's already being planned. Iran will take over Iraq. maybe without firing a shot, because we have decapitated their army. You know, for years and years and years, they had sort of equal power. So one would go this way, one would go that way, one would drop a bomb, another would drop another bomb. A couple of years go by, they get tired, they go back home. Okay? This is what happened. But we've decapitated one of those armies. And they're waiting for us to leave because, and a lot of people don't know, Iraq has the second largest oil fields in the world. Now, they haven't utilized it properly, you know, not the most efficient operation, but the oil is under the ground. And we're going to leave, and Iran is going to go in and take over the oil fields. 100%. They're going to take over the oil fields, and then they're going to make a fortune. And they're going to, by the way, try and take over the Middle East. And Israel's in big, big trouble, and we're not going to be prepared to go. And we're not, I'll tell you what, a friend of mine comes up to me last week, "Oh, Don, we're having a party for Barack Obama, for Israel. We're going to raise money for Israel." I say, "It's the worst thing that ever happened to Israel. Are you crazy?" And they don't know this. They don't get it. People don't get it. I made a statement, and it was strong, and it was very strong. I made it a couple of months ago, that we should take the $1.5 trillion that we put into Iraq, and we should take it. I mean, I actually said take more than that. I said take the whole frickin' deal. But I want to be reasonable. How about $1.5 trillion with interest? And 22%. So I made the statement, we should go in and take the oil that we deserve. We won the war. And by the way, we should reimburse ourselves, and we should reimburse our allies, because we did have allies, believe it or not, who really spent tremendous amounts of money and lives. And we should take this oil, and we should give a couple of $1 million each, this is peanuts, to the families of the soldiers that were killed. And we should give $1 million or $2 million to every soldier that was severely wounded. I mean, I see it in New York, where these incredible, young, beautiful, brave people, no legs, no arms, just horrible what's happened to them. And we should give them money. $1 million. Gets on Bill O'Reilly. Well, Donald Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. That's a sovereign nation. Sovereign nation? Iraq's going to have it. I mean, Iraq, the people that we supposedly put in are much closer right now to Iran than they are to the United States. So there's no sovereign nation. But I was lambasted by guys like Krauthammer and others saying what a horrible idea that is, what a foolish idea that is. He cannot be serious. I am totally serious. Then we get to my second favorite subject, which is China. My favorite subject. In terms of abuse, you know, we call them the abusers. The biggest abuser, the biggest, by far, is OPEC. But raising and rising fast is China, because what China is doing to this country is unbelievable. They are manipulating their currency. They are making it impossible for us to compete with them by a phony manipulation of currency. They don't make products as good as our products, by the way, and I will tell you that because I'm forced to buy a lot of Chinese products, and I have plenty of problems with the stuff I buy. If you build a building, the curtain wall, 5 of them, they come from China. You build a building, the furniture. I order televisions. Where do the televisions come from? South Korea. And then we protect South Korea. And they pay us nothing. They pay us nothing. So we have problems in this country. We have problems that are solvable with the right leadership. If we get the right leadership, we have a chance to be great again. And we have a chance to be great again rapidly. So, I love this country. I want